So we have some news that broke on New Year's Day, and this is terrible, man. But I have to say, unfortunately, I think it's a sign of things to come in 2024. So there was a massive earthquake that hit Japan, and honestly, I'm not too familiar with earthquake terminology. I don't know if this is like 40 different earthquakes that happened back to back to back, or it was one major earthquake and then everything after that was aftershocks. But look at this. At least according to one report here from the Japan Meteorological Agency, Japan had over 40 earthquakes in 2 hours on New Year's Day. So here's how powerful they were. The first one was 7.6, which is absolutely colossal, by the way. And I'm going to get to some video for you in just a second here. But then we have 6.1, 5.7, 5.7, 5.2. By the way, all of those are gigantic, but 7.6 is really, really big. And then as you can see here, it slowly goes down and down and down. And this was in the Ishikawa prefecture. And off the coast of Noto Peninsula, you have 5.6, 5.3, 5.2, 4.9. Slowly goes down. And then you can see all the numbers here. This is, this is devastating stuff. So this is a map of where it happened that you can see. It looks to be mostly centered in this area over here. There's a lot of fault lines running through and around Japan, and so they are sort of like particularly vulnerable to earthquakes. But obviously this was a big one, or multiple big ones that hit, and it happened basically on New Year's Day. So here, let me show you. This is from CBS News. A powerful 7.6 magnitude earthquake struck Japan's west coast near Ishikawa, causing dozens of buildings to collapse. A tsunami warning has been issued, urging coastal residents in the region to evacuate. So here, I'll play the video for you. You get to see a bunch of how psychotic this is. Look. So this is just the shaking of the earth that's making this camera. This is a camera that's should be still, but it's shaking viciously as a direct result of this earthquake. You're going to get to see some other videos here too in just a second. So here, look at that. Jesus Christ. Like, I've never been in an earthquake, but I can imagine it being one of the most terrifying things imaginable. The idea that the ground that you stand on could just start violently shaking is terrible. Look at this. Look at this. I don't know why these people are so calm. Stuff falling over in a grocery store. Look at this. People, like, squat on the ground. All right, so I have more for you. Let me play this one. There's also a tsunami warning. And look, you're about to see why. Look at that. Look at that. So a lot of things like sort of lit up on fire when the earthquake happened. Look at the road here. This is another video of a planted camera. Here they are in a bowling alley. Look at that. Violently shaking, man. So look at that. That's a tsunami right there. That's a tsunami. A lot of, I don't know, some people have like the movie idea of a tsunami, that it's like a 30-foot tall wave and it like goes and engulfs everything. That's actually not how they usually work. They're usually like, it's like a 5-foot wave or a 10-foot wave that doesn't look all that big, but it just keeps coming more and more inland. And then it like, it reaches in however many miles inland and it just destroys everything in its path. So it's not like it's a really tall wave that crashes. It's like a short, low wave that just keeps going deeper and deeper inland. So like I said, there is a tsunami warning here. I'll play one more video for you. This was the effects in central Japan. Look at that. Oh, that is terrifying.
Hey, what?
It looks like a monster is trying to like get out of a grave underground, right? Like zombies are coming up out of the earth when they were buried. Look at this. So look, this story, this just came out when I woke up not that long ago, so it's developing. I don't know what's going to happen with the tsunami warnings. I don't know how devastating this could be. I do know that there was a nuclear power plant which had been taken offline And then now it's expected that if a tsunami hits, it's going to be going towards this nuclear power plant. And so they kind of got lucky that it was taken offline because remember, there was the nuclear power plant that was functional at the time, the last time they had a gigantic earthquake and a tsunami that came in, and that led to colossal problems. Colossal problems. I'm blanking on the name of it now for some reason. It was Fukushima? It may be Fukushima. But that was a huge deal, and it was leaking radioactive material into the ocean, and it was like a national crisis, and they had to evacuate this giant area around it, and so, there's many, like, secondary consequences that come out of stuff like this, which can just absolutely be devastating. So horrible stuff here. Now, at the beginning of the segment, I said I think this is a harbinger of things to come for 2024. As soon as the clock struck midnight and it was officially 2024, I looked at Crystal and I was like, "This year is going to be terrible, man. It really is." So we already have, like, we're starting the year casually witnessing a genocide in Gaza, where colossal numbers of civilians every single day are being purposefully killed, and your tax money and my tax money, assuming you're American, is going right to this. So we're already starting the year on that note. And then, as we all know, this is going to be the year that we have the election, right? Probably the year that we get the conclusion of a lot of these Trump court cases. And as I've told you before, I don't see any way out, man. I don't see any way out where it's like, everything's clean, everything's fine. I think it's more likely than not that we're going to get some, not giant protests, but potentially even riots and bodies in the streets and civil unrest. I think that's almost unavoidable at this point. So you got the presidential election, which nobody wants, with two people who nobody likes. You get that. And of course, what a better way to start the year by a massive natural disaster somewhere. So, my heart goes out to the people in Japan who are impacted by this. And it's terrible to say, but it feels like the appropriate way to start 2024 because every year, seemingly, one year after the next has gotten worse and worse and worse. And it's been like that since, 2016-ish? From 2016 and on, it's like everybody's like, all right, last year was as bad as it could possibly be. It can't get worse. And then it gets worse. And then we're like, oh, God, it can literally always get worse. That's kind of where we're at right now. Genocide in Gaza, civil unrest here in the U.S., Russia-Ukraine war, natural disaster in Japan. The list goes on and on. My guess is it's going to be an ugly year. And this is, honestly, a kind of expected way to start it. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.